Welcome back, denizens of the Omniverse, for episode 4 of season 1 of the Vampire Lestat. So many little interesting exchanges, revelations last episode, and it got pretty dark. You know, we really started to pull back the layers even more than we ever have on Lestat, especially when it comes to his relationship with his mother, the relationship with his maker as well, or well, lack thereof, but like the truth of the matter, a little bit as close to the truth of the matter as we could get. It was an intense freaking episode, man. And especially with how this has left Lestat and how that's playing into things going on right now in the present day. Very curious to see where this is all going to go, especially with the Armand connections and him popping up at the end of the episode. So with that all said, let's get ready to hop in. If you want to see the full reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, where you can watch without all the edits we got to do to get this stuff up on YouTube. You also get up to 4 weeks early access, depending on what tier you sign up for. You can also submit your own comments, questions, or fun facts for me to read at the end of these episodes. It's just a great way to support the channel and helps do things you do over here. But at the end of the day, really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. Please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if not already, because it really helps these videos out. Huge shout out to the team over at Prepper for helping me edit down these highlights for you guys here on YouTube. And that all said, another way, let's get ready to hop into episode 4, The Devil's Road. Here we go.
All rockers sing about the road.
Understandable. You know, you're on the road so much.
And Phil X was a better guitarist than Richie Sambora. There, I said it so you don't have to. I'm rambling a bit here. What am I trying to say?
Only a little bit, but it's okay. I love when you ramble.
Digitally, there was some optimism, as somewhere between the Pete Diddler and Chipotle's new adobo ranch sauce, the Vampire Lestat found itself momentarily trending.
Oh, hey, let's go. Interesting.
I would later find out the hits were predominantly bots, paid for out of the Talamasca discretionary fund.
Oh, that hurts, kinda.
Nonetheless, I was in my grand brat phase, with more gigs in the rear view.
Grand brat phase.
And our bus never stopped for gas. We ran on bots and abandonment.
Oof. What world could this be? Oh God, yeah. Hide everything. Are they taking all of it too? Is what? No. Oh, yo, dude. What are you? Is it better to be on it or them to find it? That's actually a legitimate question. I would imagine to find it, to have it on your person, but what do I know?
You want to tell me what's in that bowl right there?
No!
This is actually powdered makeup.
Delilah doesn't bark at makeup.
Why don't you take a seat? Come, Delilah. Take a seat.
Oh God. Is this compulsion?
It is. And we need it to do our job properly. Just as you need your firearm and your expansive interpretation of the Fourth Amendment to do your job properly. You do one of the most difficult jobs in our society. And I can only imagine how that affects your judgment in your home life.
It does.
He's like, thank you for understanding.
I would not allow anybody who puts on the uniform to work more than 35 hours a week.
Thank you.
What is happening right now?
And your precinct would be put in harm's way, ready to do violence on our behalf.
Interesting. Wow. The guy is like, what is he even going to think happened? Or is he even going to remember that even took place? Or how his face got painted in cocaine?
Did you hear that, Armand?
Oh, I heard that.
Hi, what can I get you? Menu? Coffee? Anything to drink?
Louis Dulac or Thomas Pitt or...
He's just kind of been hanging out here. Oh, yeah. Revenge does not always pay itself. Look at that baby-ass bite.
Bethnal Green? Hackney?
Piss off, Hackney!
God, the accent, it's interesting. I hadn't noticed it before. Did we even hear her in the last one?
Get Hackney off the tube map, did you? You ever even step foot in zone 2?
I think that's mine.
Get mine till I give it to you.
You a student?
I'm a waitress. My arse ain't on the menu, but it does cost, so tip better. You can afford it.
Looking for.
Oh, you're gay.
Gay, gay, gay.
Gay, gay, gay.
You order burgers, you don't like burgers. You're a riddle, Thomas Pitt, or just cheap rich.
A little both.
middle school cheer with the big crowd.
Well, I mean, she did respond with a blank message, though. Just nothing. There was something there. But yeah, she just up and left in the middle of all that. Just for why? For what?
Talking to junior majors, why would I tell you that?
Lover. Sony, Warner.
Formati.
Who? Wait, I'm glad we had the same reaction.
The Bethany's. Show us your tits!
Shit's on you die.
What does the vampire messiah owe the world?
Ooh. Playful handbag and a lie told well.
I thought we were done with this. I thought that whole little debacle with the mind lock last episode and the way that he was talking about things meant this whole interview thing was dead. Because the way he framed it earlier on with Daniel was like, that's what bred his hatred for it or whatever. It just like all of that they got that day, except him being a little bratty bitch about everything. I don't know. I just assumed like the way we just kind of stepped away from that moment meant that he basically just burned the whole documentary to the ground. But no, he's still here. He's still persisting. And he's still entertaining it.
Save all mine for Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester.
Worcester.
What?
Worcester, Massachusetts.
I thought the same as LESTAT, to be honest.
She's gonna meet us in Albany.
Let's talk about your mother.
They just have a stuffed jackalope behind them. Well, I mean, of course it is, but still, a jackalope.
Not much left to tell, I'm afraid. She took like Nikki did.
Not your first love.
God, he's still being haunted by them.
There is. We are fallen French nobles.
We forgot one thing.
That is?
The roof and the two coffins strapped to it.
I can't remember it, and I know I asked this at one point. Can they not sleep in a regular bed? Does it have to be a coffin?
It is our dear departed Uncle Marius, who was bored to death by our tart nephew Armand.
Armand. And also the description. I mean, Armand wasn't his original name. That was Arun, right? So, like, he didn't get that name from Lestat, did he?
She could not function.
By function, you mean what?
She would not hunt. I had to carry her to coffin.
All right, because he's still, like, playing it as if she died to protect Sophia's history.
Where were you when your daddy killed you on an airplane, Dan? On your way to see your daughters? Your Alice? Or just your book agent?
Getting very bratty. Oh, and look who's here. And who's far behind. His eyes are still normal, so he hasn't been turned. Aw. Interesting. Oh, it's happening again, isn't it? Everybody's gone. What does this mean?
It's me.
Oh, now his game's off. How could it not be?
Walk in the opposite direction, find a radioactive storage facility, and as is your way, asshole your way inside, and see if the workers there will give you a couple of spent fuel rods to suck on.
Oh my God.
Do that for however long it takes until your eyes begin to cave in and your dick falls off. After that, fuck off.
Wait, he didn't just all say that okay, nobody's reacted to that, I guess. Wait, hold up. Wait, is he here? Or not?
I have done the most harm to, and it is to you I owe amends.
Are you doing the steps?
I know this is 52 years
Wait
late.
a minute, what?
Hold up. Was he legitimately? No way he was legitimately at that group, right? Or no. It was too coincidental for one of their bandmates to also be there. What is this? This has to be a game of some kind.
I know
The pseudologia pensioner fuckboys for sobriety?
I know when we first met.
Wait. Stop.
I mean, maybe he is actually trying to, like, fix himself.
Sorry about killing you on a private jet. I probably could have waited till you crossed the GW, but no, your vampire birth certificate resides in fucking Newark. Big time sorry about every second in your life in between. The blackout years at Knight Ridder, the 5 trips to rehab, the year listening to Fish.
Why did that make the cut?
It was my job to put you out of your misery. I'm just a 500-year-old pussy.
Holy shit. God damn. Daniel. Oh my God. It just made me think of damn Daniel. All right, I'm going to see myself out. Bye.
How's your bank account, Zone 2?
Ceiling tiles fell off the ceiling in my flat and like mice fell out.
Lucky as mice, not rats.
I mean, valid, I guess. Or bats. I've had that. Bats come out of my ceiling tiles before. Well, a bat. I think it was just the one because it happened multiple times.
And I got a mixed set of punters, but you're the only one watching me like I'm Netflix.
Caught me at a lonely hour. I don't want to put this on you.
Sure you do. Right there, in your jaw. What is it? I remind you of your sis.
Yeah, something like that.
You know this book?
Horror book.
It's real. There's a girl in it.
What happened to her?
Maybe you should read it. Read it and find out. Might be easier than him explaining it. I get it though, but I do like the Dracula parallels because, again, correct me if I'm wrong. In Bram Stoker's, wasn't the reason he was like stalking that one chick was because she looked like his old lover or something like that, like just reincarnated in the present day, decades apart or something like that. Or maybe I'm thinking about a different vampire thing. Anyway, I mean, that's what I was thinking of, like this situation we found ourselves in, because at least in some vampiric lore, at least in those universes, this type of thing does kind of echo this second life. Though she was just a human. I don't think she had ever turned, if I remember right, at least in the story I'm thinking of.
How many hearts do you hear in the dwelling?
God, that's haunting.
30.
Shit. Just not
32 aunts,
honed in yet.
27 bodies.
Oh, wait.
3 more.
Oh, is he counting some
27.
outside? Yeah, okay. So it's not just in this room is what he was doing. Look at him. Damn.
Lei è una fantasma. Mi ricorda una giovane donna molti anni fa. Ha il suo viso.
Interesting little parallel of sorts. Somebody actually remembers her in those youth when she was just talking about.
So, is he clutching cheeses while you sucked him off?
Oh, wow.
So what, this guy's like your sponsor? Not really using that word, you know? He's like a god.
Armand.
Record deals popping up like crazy right now.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh, you don't know. But he didn't turn him.
This guy erased it.
What the hell?
God's name. That I gotta keep.
Of course you do. Can't have that getting out, huh?
Armand could not read your mind because he was sitting 2 feet from Louis.
You were 5,000 feet from Louis after you dropped him. That was love, right?
Ooh, oof. Daniel comes to swing. Oh, look who was just there. God, she is inside his head like no one else.
I gather you are not coming to Albany. It's feeling somewhat soapy and deliberate.
Oh! Whoa!
I could hear you through the walls.
And?
Yeah, she wants you to hear.
We were mother and son.
And like a crashing of waves right now.
I love you.
What is this shipwreck we're seeing? Or, well, that's overlaying with this.
Still the early riser, I see.
Oh, God, I thought my video fucked up for a second. So I'm assuming then that was the first time they canoodled. You know, like Louis described it in this weird vampiric kind of way that they're like the whole like murderer, lover, maker thing just entangles these relationships in this crazy way that like goes straight to the core of them on some kind of metaphysical level. And I'm wondering how much of that carried over or was simply stoked from what he was talking about, what he had described in those moments, maybe what he felt growing up as a child, and then that flipping of the script when he turned her and became her maker, if that just fucking like took all their wires and just crossed them all, and he can't uncross, but he's also so like, he's always just going to his mom and looking for his mom as much as he. And I think that's maybe one part of the reasons why he made that pact, to keep the fuck away, so he could try to get away from that. But now she's come back up to stoke that fire again, almost because she knows it, and it's just like fucking with him the entire time. And now he's like desperately texting, where are you, calling, where'd you go? You're not coming, I guess. Like, he's just like frazzled as things are just riling up, going out of control. He's losing himself. He's diving into these old memories. These things are coming to the surface. He's being haunted by his past now in a way that we hadn't seen previously. She's just fucking buried in the back of his skull, and he's tried to like keep her buried. And now she's just clawing out of the woodwork and out of that dirt in his mind, and he can't keep her tucked away anymore.
How did you get in here? The nomad Armand. What are you doing here, Armand?
Oh shit!
You would do more damage than the Queen ever did.
I love how he continuously brings up the Queen, and he's like, he does more damage than the Queen ever did. And we keep getting these little nuggets of this thing that is to come, and it just spins my brain reeling with like curiosity. I'm wondering if we're ever going to catch up to that point in which we are here all listening back, recounting back, at least from this segment of the story, is all in hindsight. It's all being told to us. What is the present? What is the future? What is this thing we're building up to?
And as part of this journey, I wish to read you something I've written.
He really is on an apology tour, seemingly.
Knowing your maker's temperament, I should have led with patience and with empathy.
Instead, you use my lover as bait to draw me and my mother into your underground death orgy.
Your exit from Paris and beyond generous endowment you left us with was graceful and sensitive.
I like when he said endowment. He's just glanced at his cock.
When I had the opportunity to speak truth to Louis concerning my involvement in the matinee production of Trial.
Not a production, an actual trial with definitive sentences of death.
Yeah.
I walked the rest of the century on a carpet of eggshells, knowing at any moment you could reach out to Louis and make him the wiser.
And then he didn't.
I knew it would eat you alive and tangentially make Louis miserable. And that is how I chose to spend the latter half of the 20th century.
Damn. I mean, that's one way to do it.
But I see you, and it suggests to me that time is over. Because you are a fuck cloud, Armand.
The fuck does that mean?
But be it on the other side of the moon, or kill yourself.
Wow.
You want me to stop playing music?
Yes.
The vampires are listening to my songs. They're making too many. The mortals won't allow it. The planet can't support it.
Yes.
Yeah, what happens when there are too many vampires? Because, yes, vampires are starting to get more emboldened, or starting to rise, or starting to multiply. And his music in this book is not helping things at all either. You know, now kind of getting the lifestyle, getting this truth out there, and the more people slowly take the bait, they expand, that their food source will continue to lessen and lessen and lessen and lessen. That's interesting. What would happen if like the entirety of the human race was suddenly just all vampires, or all that was left was vampires? They move on like Louis tried to do with other animals, and then what then, until everything on the planet they can feed on is hunted to extinction? Will they be able to synthesize blood, make it synthetically in a way that would sustain them at all? Makes you wonder.
You okay? You missed a couple shifts. I was worried.
You're the one in the book?
I can explain.
Yeah, Claudia. I look like her.
Well, she put it together. She looked up the book.
I've been here since 1:30. I just wanted to know you were okay. For the service.
More than happy to take the money.
What's this then?
I looked you up online.
Oh. You fool stalking.
Found your OnlyFans. Criminal record,
Whoa.
Credit card scams, stolen car in Amsterdam.
What in the world?
I can pay off your debts.
Here's the money, get in my Escalade, be my dead daughter. I've got enough shit in my life. I do not need more.
Wow, damn, I get it. You know, having that all like, yeah, I mean, that could have been handled better. And honestly, she could have gone off on him harder, probably, all things considered. That's just a lot to process. And
Unless, of course,
what is this getup he's got going on here?
we have a very special guest in the audience tonight. Can we get a torch? The maître of Paris.
Oh, oh, his ooh-woo Japanime eyes. Wow. Whoa.
Despite what you've been sold.
Oh, yeah. What's he going to think? His former bandmate.
And I have grown to respect Armand and his staunch defense of the 5 great laws.
Thank you, nerd! One of his contacts are fucked up.
We wrote a song for you. And it's the first time we are playing it live.
Oh, fun.
Hey, big boss with the sensation. Are you mad or do you always look that way?
Oh my god.
Only the big boss gets to decide who dies and who stays alive.
Oh god. Oh, is Daniel actually going to go after him? Wow. That's such a shit thing to do. But, I mean, not surprised either.
Stop it!
What?
You know what?
You hear, but you can't see them. It happens to me too. It's happening right now.
Bullshit, get out of my head.
I am your maker. I cannot get into your head any longer.
True. So how is this and what is this?
Our vampire bond, I think.
It's fucked.
So it happens to both of them just uncontrollably, spontaneously.
You are courting great danger with Lestat.
He's just an asshole.
There are nearly enough of us now. Each a body, a night, each turning one. More deaths than births. The great conversion.
Yeah, okay. This whole little like tour of his is going to be inspiring more and more of it.
Loving Louis doesn't shut it off.
It wasn't my love for Louis, Daniel, but it was love.
For Daniel?
You're my third in the queue.
Or what in the world he's painting with his nub hand? Or was it all about Lestat?
Hello, Gabs. Just wanted you to hear this. That's the sound of 1,000 loud white fire worship.
It's like he's just trying to hold her attention because he doesn't get it anymore. He like thrives off of it.
Cabbage, cabbage, cabbage.
God.
The wheels only start go me.
Me.
Come to me.
Hey, friend.
Oh. Whoa, what the? Oh.
You can't die like this. He's a vampire.
Oh, trying to expose him. Wow. Trying to expose him. That's crazy.
Roll back a single decade, we're living mortal lives.
The cabbage years.
Well, that's the cabbage.
Shall we scorch the mortal world?
Decimated, till no light remains, and we, the devils, rule.
Wow, so that's what their aim is then.
Intertwined for all eternity.
Dinner.
And then because of what they did, the ships crashed and they feed. That's fucked. Now he can't go in anymore. Oh, or like a vampire being invited in now.
$1,000. That's a bus fare for you. What's not a bus fare?
100,000.
5 times that.
What now, Daddy Lou?
I didn't like that. That unnerved me.
I gave up on confession by candlelight. You used to teach me how to kiss.
Well, that wasn't a coffin, but they slept there. But he did dig himself into the ground.
Why won't you let me bring you flowers like I used to cheer you up?
Oh wait, is that the first time she like left him? Maybe in the dead of night? Yeah. Wow. The world is hers to do with as she pleases, and that includes you two in the wake of her destruction and her awakening. That's my read on it right now, at least. And he's just another victim of that. He's such a good singer, man. Oh, that's not eerie. That looks like some vampiric interference right there. Who is it? Her?
Called I came.
It is.
Break it down and weep over your biting distress.
I left my wit in Philadelphia.
You quit.
Everyone quit.
Mass
shootings can be quite persuasive.
Oh, after that, they all abandoned him.
You abandoned me!
For a week!
For 9 days!
Grow up!
Where were you?
I was with the voices.
I'm sorry, what?
Let's have a listen.
It's all the other vampires, isn't it?
You've been reaching them.
And I want not to reach them.
Your music speaks to them. They long for communion. 8 wolves.
Don't you want him to be the bringer of the coming apocalypse, keeping up their pact?
Let me paraphrase a more eminent vampire caught in a similar situation. It is difficult to explain how her words disarmed me.
Wow. Oh God, he couldn't even say it fully. Wow, that's beautiful. This is nuts.
Be there, I guess.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Listen.
Ah, another wild fucking episode, man. So, I don't know, man. Armand's on this, like, apology tour, seemingly genuine, but he's also, like, you know, he's so kind of self-loathing in so many ways that it's kind of, I think that's part of what has, you know, even like when we met him with, when the way Louis described the way that he was about the coven, about being a maitre, his, like, exasperation with being a coven head and all this, that, and the other. Especially with the way that he also was turned and stuff too. There's almost like he's always kind of had a little bit of a, and is also why he's also never turned a fledgling. One of many other reasons that we've talked about before. You can add on to that. And I think it's just because, like, he just knows what they are and what comes with it and is exhausted by it, but he's too scared to throw himself into the flame. He's too scared to end it. And he sided with the Talamascan in an effort to, like, quell this plague that is upon them in one way or the other. And I don't know how much his remorse is genuine, how much this approach is genuine, or any of that. But it's interesting to see this all play out. And this whole little line from him too about, like, it wasn't for the love of Louis that I did what I did back in Dubai. It was for a love of another. And what was that? Was it for Daniel? Was that why he was so angry? Did he actually understand what drew Louis to him and maybe that angered him? Did he also have a draw to Daniel as well? Is that what that was and why he's trying to, or was that just a play or a ploy? Or is he talking about Lestat like I proposed earlier? Is it all because he's still hung up on Lestat? I don't know. I'm not really sure how to read that. Because I was a little, I don't think it was like all that straightforward, but maybe it was just my read in the moment. I don't know. I'm curious about how y'all feel about that one. obviously I'm sure some of you book readers will, like, depending on how much of the series you've read, probably even have the answer to that anyway. So if it's a spoiler, it's a spoiler. I don't need any of that. And then we got more of an insight into Lestat and his mother's relationship. She's always seemingly, and I guess that's part of her little game that she played at the table, is because now, like, looking back on it, her behavior is repetitious. Like, it was there even when she was immortal. You know, Lestat was hers. He looked up to her, idolized her, and she took, like, she liked that. Maybe that's why she fixated. All the other ones were obsessed with all their duties, their father, their name, their gluttony, their riches, and all that, while he kind of worshipped her in a way, clung to her. And I think she liked that a lot. And you saw the way she was talking about the way she was as a kid, or at least as a younger person, you know, hidden behind the veil, people proposing this, that, the other, the names she once had, pushing away the memory of those that maybe remembered who she maybe once was. You know, this person that was just, you know, at the time didn't have any pull, sway, or autonomy of her own, and now has been unchained by Lestat. And so unchained, she's also like, we're the devil's out there roaming or whatever. You know, she wants to bring about the apocalypse for whatever reason. I don't really understand her train of thought there, other than that she's just like, the fact that they have to live in the darkness, the fact that they have to live in the shadows, they can't hunt or be open freely, is another cage. While she is more free, more powerful than she ever was before, she's still in a box, and I think maybe that's part of it. And then as long as there is a imbalance in the mortals to them, or a need for them to hide, then, you know, she's still not free. But like, everything is about now unchaining herself and unclipping her wings, so much so that she still gets a rise and a kick out of that adoration. And she does these things to get a rise out of him because she knows she has that power over Lestat. You know, when he was there bleeding out after the wolves thing, and then she took advantage in that moment and cited his, played with his emotions there, and did it further and further, even when they started off after being turned, you know. And then the moment they make that pact, she disappears the next day. You know, she's just like a carrot on a string. She's just roping him along because she can. I don't know what else she wants to get out of it, or it's to condition him to be who she wants him to be, so that he can lead this vampire, what do you want to call it? Not rebellion, but rising. You know, this coming great conversion, as they call it. You know, his music, his story, the book, all of it. Which is interesting because, like, the Talamasca funded the book, published the book, the details of it with Daniel and all that. And it's seemingly just, it's made people aware, but it's also made it more appealing because it also turned things onto Lestat, and people are getting lost in that. And the whole exposure to the vampires as a whole is causing more people to be, you know, want to give it a go. Now that they know it's real, you know, they want to live that lifestyle for real. Then you have vampires that are hearing it that are now also getting emboldened because they feel that camaraderie. They understand the lyrics. They understand the feelings and emotions that he's conveying as being trapped behind this veil, behind this cage, behind this window in a world they're not allowed to touch or interact with. And then they're also being inspired to be more proud about who they are, to the point where they are growing, making more of themselves, going out at night, overextending themselves. And, you know, Armand's like, hey, you know, if this does get too out of control, like, it's just an apocalypse for everybody. Eventually, everybody will just starve. There will be no one else for them to feed on if this gets too out of control. I mean, humanity will collapse. It's just, I don't know. It's just a really interesting, like, seeing how all of this is going about. But, like, how, like, even on the first night when they left their home, where she sought out that one dude and she did exactly what she did with the body double for Lestat, She knew he would be listening. She knew he'd be able to hear. That was the whole end all point of that scene with them testing how many hearts she can hear. And she knew how sensitive his ears was when he was hearing through different rooms. It was like, no matter where he was, she knew he would be listening, and that would call him over. And then, yeah, she did her shit. She had her way with him. I don't know. I think it has something to do with this whole like maker situation. While she was the maker of the human Lestat and he's the maker of her as a vampire, it's this fucking like Ouroboros of relationship that just fucking feeds back in on itself and confuses that entire relationship on a fundamental like metaphysical level for them. Because we see like the stuff with Daniel and Armand, with Louis and Lestat, with Claudia and Lestat, and like these things that like muddy the waters of emotion that they can't disconnect in this weird way. So I can't imagine, while I do think some of it existed prior to that, it was only made worse by their vampiric bond. And she's taken also advantage of that. And she knows what she's doing. She's fucking like purposefully stringing him along to like, I don't know, groom him or just get some shits and kicks and giggles out of it because she can. She's kind of an enigma still. As much as I feel like I understand her more, I still feel like there's so much I don't get. Meanwhile, Louis' whole thing at the diner has been unraveled. Regina now knows why he's been here, who he is, his story, read the book. Initially, understandably, freaks out, has a crash out on him, but came back around on it by the end of it all after having some time to like let it settle, especially obviously with what he can offer her, what comes with all of that. But I'm wondering where that relationship is going to go, especially. And God, when she hit with that Daddy Lou, I don't know if that was in his head or she actually said that. That fucking fritzed out my brain, something fierce. But we have a couple comments over on Patreon to get to, so we're going to head on over there. We have, what order are these going in? There we go. We're going to do oldest to newest. All right, we're going to start off with Madeline. Wow, there's so much happening in every episode. The moment when Regina switches to the New Orleans accent was really creepy. I agree, and I loved it. Also agree. What Louis is doing there reminds me of how he paid Lily in season 1 in order to have a straight alibi, also to have someone to talk to. Kind of. It's a little bit of that, but it's also a coping thing as far as it's not a shield in this case. Also glad we finally got to see more of Armand in the present in 2025 timeline. Did you notice the two stone-faced vampires next to him in the crowd? They drifted away when he gave them a sign just before Daniel approached him outside. Do you have any thoughts about what that might be? Bodyguards, henchmen, Armand told the truth, book groupies. I don't know. I didn't actually notice that. I missed that detail. But yeah, the different reactions we've seen to the book, the characters, people aligning with their certain favorite characters, favorite ships, favorite theories, and how that's bled into real life with this exposure of vampires and stuff. It's been really fucking interesting. But yeah, I did not catch that detail actually. Then we got Gabbiness. What do you think Armand meant about love blinding him in Dubai? Well, like I kind of already talked about that a little bit, like because he said it wasn't of Louis, which makes me wonder if it was his love of Daniel, which would be kind of out of left field, though I could kind of see the groundwork for that, or just unresolved feelings and frustrations over Lestat just upping and abandoning him in a way that, you know, his mom would do when things get a little too close. It's kind of what he did to, what his mother does to him, he did to Armand, which I think is kind of interesting. Next up, we got Moria Agent. The relationship between Lestat and Gabriella is abusive in many ways, many different ways. She groomed him as a child and continues the same pattern to this day, 100%. She does something nice, hooks him, and then makes him pay for the scraps of attention. She teaches him that only way to show love is via sex, and that is the only way she will love him. This is interesting when you think about his past conversations with Louis. Very, very true, actually. But yeah, she is like exhibiting a cycle, and he keeps falling into it because she knows exactly how to play him, and no matter how he fights it, it always works. From this and last episode, we found out Lestat does not agree with the Great Conversion, but since this is what his mom wants, it's the only way to keep her there. He will play the part. What are your thoughts on Lestat and Gabriella's relationship? Yeah, he's always pined for her attention because it was the only positive reinforcement he could possibly get at growing up as a child. And she knew that, and she takes advantage of that. She adores the worship, the adoration of her son, of anyone really, but mostly of him, and the ways that she could also use him, and the way that she can get what she wants through him. It's extremely toxic. And yeah, she is, as much as he's just trying to do this to express himself, she's trying to use it to get what she wants out of the world anyway. And of course, he's going to abide just so he could have her here. It's kind of all he wanted. It's why he turned her in the first place. It's interesting. It's absolutely fucked. Next up, we got REM. Finally, to hop in here. Just one question for now. Where do you think this plot line with Regina is going? Honestly, I don't know. Unless she ends up getting turned and inevitably becoming a vampire all over again, or it's just because he is now feared, if people find out about her and her connection to him, maybe that could be leveraged. While maybe or maybe not the real Claudia in some supernatural kind of way, somebody could use her against him. Or she could just obviously use him, you know. So I don't really know all that much right now, other than that. Especially if they start to be seen together, because there's this whole thing where he's like, there was this point where, you know, he was wanted by the vampire community, but now he is feared by them because of what he's done. So they haven't really made a move on him, no matter how they feel about what he's done publicly. So this might be something that could be leveraged, and maybe in retaliation for what he did to Bruce's coven. Who knows? Next up, we got Ruva Chipato. Hey Omni, love from London. My question is, should everyone give Armand a chance? I would want to say yes, but he's also, it's hard to say that. I feel I want to, because he just looks so innocent, so sweet, so like lost puppy. But like there's things he's done. There's the thing with the coven. There's the thing, the charade he's played up where he's walking on eggshells, hoping that Lestat doesn't narc on him for all the years. These little like shit things that he's kind of done that makes me just always wonder if he's gonna stab me in the back. So it's hard to say, to be honest. Like I want to, but like I feel like I shouldn't. Did I notice the necklace Gabriella left is the one Lestat gave to Claudia for her birthday? I did not. I wondered because we fixated on that necklace, and I'm like, I don't remember this necklace. It feels like we're really highlighting that moment when he grabbed it out of the faux coffin that they dug there. And how do you feel about Regina as a character? Fine. I mean, I like her. I like the device that she serves right now in the story, and how that kind of accents what Louis kind of going through and struggling with right now. I just don't know where we're going to go with that, or where that's going to lead, but I like it. Again, it's something that's familiar, at least to me and some other previous vampiric tales. I'm just curious where that's going to go. Next up, we got Tammy. To me, it feels like the central themes on this show are about loneliness and trauma and guilt. As humans, we can be weighed down by those things. So imagine being a vampire and having to live with those things for centuries with heightened emotions. True, very true. So many shows and movies about vampires seem to be about how amazing it is to be a vampire. I love how the show peels back those layers so you can see what tragic figures they all are. What themes do you see in this series? I mean, trauma, like you said, or love, obviously, is a through line. What we will do for it, what we will sacrifice for it, how love can actually be used against us, or be a knife that stabs us into our heart, in the way that, like love, like in the Last of Us series, as much as there's so much tragedy throughout that whole run, everything is framed through some lens of love. And that's also kind of apparent throughout this as well. Love, addiction, deflection, coping or lack thereof of handling with certain things. There's a lot of mental health as well that they delve in with this, self-worth issues. There's just so much richness in that, which makes it hard to like dial in on everything, but I fucking love it, man. Next up, we got Claire Punk. What do you think about the callback at the end of the episode to the end of Interview with the Vampire pilot? Lestat is using the same dialogue about Gabriella that Louis had said about Lestat when he was convincing him to become a vampire. How efficiently distinct and impenetrable is his/her argument was. I thought that was a brilliant way to tie it back in, and then bringing all of the, like, his past self, Nikki, Louis, and Claudia all on the bus there with him and his mother was very, very well done. On top of that, the last scene in the bus also reuses a mix of several old themes from the show, including The Drum Was My Heart, as well as the violin motif from Viens à Moi and its musical score. These themes have repeated throughout the show in few moments of extreme emotional tension or catharsis. For example, The Drum Was My Heart is featured as Louis is being turned into church. Viens à Moi plays most importantly when Lestat is calling to Louis in the pilot, but also plays when Louis hallucinates Lestat in Paris in 2-3, and when Santiago is introducing the audience to the trial. The music nerds, feel free to correct my ear or to point out more instances. To suffice to say, I believe that this music is important. Always is. Both the writing and the filmmaking is seeming to tell us that this end scene in the bus with Gabriella is pivotal. I imagine we'll need the full season or maybe even the next to look back on to see how, but what are your predictions there? I mean, it's just another step in like the stepping stones that are these major turning points or points of decision for Lestat. Like it's all, think of them as like canon points, these like pivotal moments where a defining choice is going to be affect like everything that comes after. And I think that's like, this is going to be that, like his mother showing up and being like, you got to be this god that I want you to be, the figure that all of vampiric kind rally behind. Will he not? Will we do? How will he follow through on that? I don't know. Next up, we got Vincent Calvert. This episode felt like AMC sending 18 nuclear bombs straight to my house. Specifically, as an Armand and Claudia fan, this shit hurt badly. I'm sure you've voiced your thoughts on Regina already, and I'm honestly so shell-shocked I can't even form a full opinion yet. It's such a perfect way to show that despite everything that's happened, Louis just can't help himself. I can't even blame Regina for going along with it either, though. Struggling young adult with a criminal record, and suddenly you're offered $500,000 for feeding into a rich stranger's delusions? It's such a crazy, dangerous situation to be in. How far do you think you would go to get that money? I mean, I'll say Louis, at least in this moment, he doesn't terrify me as much as he probably should, I guess. I've never feared Louis. I probably should, though. So I would definitely go for that bag, man. In a similar vein, Armand just can't help being Armand. He goes on an apology tour, whether he genuinely means it or not aside, with what is essentially another one of his scripts. That's very true. I actually didn't think about that. That's very fucking true, because everything is, again, scripted. The fact that he basically copy and pasted the beginning across multiple letters is both hilarious and a bit sad to me. I didn't even think about that. He's trying to cling to what he prepared, but obviously has Daniel and Lestat throwing curveballs at him immediately. Also, what the hell is going on with Alex? Did Armand just lobotomize his worries away? Is that part of him being kind? Armand the therapist? Too much to think about. It makes me wonder to the like whatever he did to make Louis and Daniel forget those key moments. The fog that was instilled over all of that may feel like it was self-imposed. I mean, the implication originally was that Armand did something to them, but then they kind of sidestepped that. And I think maybe he just simply can do that. I don't know. Next up, we got Catherine Loveless. I've loved all the music this season, but my favorite is this episode with Lestat singing Big Boss at Armand. Are you enjoying the music, and which was your favorite so far? Ooh. I think my favorite so far is, because I hear it every episode, is the opening intro. I don't know the name of that song, but that one sticks in my head pretty much week to week. Big Boss, though, is pretty damn hard. The music's phenomenal. I love the sound of Lestat's band as much as they get harped on for not having numbers. I like it. Next up, we got Nico. Once again, some book trivia. One of Gabrielle's first victims is a young man. She steals his clothes, and as a vampire, she prefers to dress in men's clothing, wearing dresses only occasionally to make Lestat happy. She also attempts to cut her own hair, which ends up growing back during the day to the same length she had at the moment of becoming a vampire. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's got to be frustrating. If you ever wanted to change up your look, you really can't. In the book's first meeting between Daniel and Armand happens after initial San Francisco interview. During said interview, Louis mentions to Daniel that he saw Lestat recently-ish in a rundown house living off a rat. Similar conditions to what the TV show gave us for the reunion in the season 2 finale. Daniel manages to find the house Louis mentioned and plays the tapes from the interview, trying to draw out Lestat, but instead Armand finds him. Ooh, always lurking in the shadows. Next up, we got Chiara. I love Armand. I really love every character in these chronicles, but I was laughing my eyes out when Lestat sings that song to him in front of everybody. Love that scene, especially turning the spotlight on him and revealing him to the world, especially knowing how he feels about them being out at all. Also, you can palette swap being out as a vampire as being out as anything, LGBTQ, whatever, and Lestat being out and proud and a vampire is inspiring other people to be out and proud in themselves amongst the race. Though when you look at the self-destructive nature of that and what that's going to reap on the planet, doesn't work as a beautiful, nice and neat kind of parallel, but it's a parallel nonetheless. And then finally, we've got Nicole T. My favorite thing this season so far has been all these different relationship dynamics and how they mirror each other. Also learning about how everyone is nearly haunted by something, and sometimes the ghost of someone. For example, Louis being haunted by Lestat and somewhat Claudia, and then Lestat being haunted by both Magnus, Nikki, and then Daniel being somewhat haunted by Armand. I'm particularly interested in Daniel and Armand's relationship, and Armand acknowledging that their bond evokes a weird mutual sensation and experience that they both can't quite explain. Yeah, he was like, why don't you stop doing this thing to me? I was like, I can't. It happens to me too. I don't know what this is, which is interesting, which is a good thing to actually call back because Armand has never made a fledgling before, so he doesn't know what this is. To be fair, Louis has admitted to never feeling that though, and we've never seen him feel it either. So it's interesting what that means for them. What are your theories about what's causing that and how it may all connect to everyone else? That I simply don't know. I can't even hazard a guess if it's not done, which is because we haven't seen it happen with Lestat. We haven't seen it happen with Louis and their dynamic, or Claudia for that matter, or Lestat and Gabrielle at this moment. Maybe it's something another vampire is doing to them specifically, because I didn't think they could interact with each other in that way because they were maker and makee. So I don't know. Maybe it's some external force is focusing on them, watching them, knowing that they work for the Talamasca. Maybe some great vampire amongst the horde that is against them is keeping tabs on some of the Talamasca's agents. I don't know. That's the best I've got right now. But another fantastic episode, absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see where we go, man. We are halfway. I don't even know. I don't know how many episodes this season's supposed to have, but maybe halfway, maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, guys, what'd you think? How do you feel about this episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're carrying the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon. And speaking of, before you go, I want to shout out Lily Chan Sun, Kiana Chanel, McGreg, Angela Burr, Calvin Briley, CP Bastard, Theodore Wolf, Thailand, Denise Mauricio, and the Honk. Thank you guys so much for becoming saviors of the channel, helping sponsor and support the rescues that I take care of here at the office. You guys have been a tremendous help with all of that. And as always, a huge shout out to all of our channel legends. You and the patrons allow us to do so much of what we do over here. Without you guys, we would not be able to keep up with all this content, get help with the editing, copyright claims, all that stuff. So we keep bringing this stuff to you guys here on YouTube as much as we can, because without y'all, we wouldn't even be here. But that's just video, guys. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.